Majority of farmers in Kenya are grappling with the effects of climate change, and they've had to change their mode of farming to sustain themselves and their families. Our reporter, Emily Chebet, met some farmers in Makueni County who have dropped maize farming due to insufficient rainfall over the years and are now earning from trees for fruits. They are also receiving training on how to earn money through carbon trading once the carbon market's legal framework and guidelines are in place, which the government says is at an advanced stage.
Alexander NYAMAI is working on his farm in Kiatine village in Kilala area of Makueni County. NYAMAI has different trees on his farm, majority being trees for fruits. Few years ago, he and other farmers from this region depended on maize and some legumes for food and commercial purposes. But climate change brought with it insufficient rainfall and pushed many farmers to think outside the box for survival. From maize to mango farming, but NYAMAI says mango farming alone is not sustainable.
Tulikuwa na societies zile zilikuwa zinatufunza mambo ya maembe, wakatufunza tukapanda mzuri, lakini marketing ingaleta shida. Sababu hata saa hii unaenda hapa kwa soko unapata wanunuzi ni wengi, lakini bei ile iko hapo ni ya chini sana. Sababu kilo moja saa hii wananunua na shilingi 5. Na shilingi 5 ukifanya hesabu kwa kilo unapata maembe 3 ama saa ingine maembe 4.
NYAMAI is farming different types of fruit trees, which he says with little water are able to feed his family and take his children to school.
Uko na maji unaweza kupea miti yako mwezi wa 9 ama wa 8 ama wa 7. Ukiwa na maji unaipea maji, inatoa maua mapema. Kwa hivyo wakati mpua wa mwezi wa 10 ikiingia, itafata yako tayari ni matunda. Kwa hivyo utaingia sokoni mbele ya wale wengine. Tuseme utaingia sokoni mwezi wa 3 ama mwezi wa 4. Ile ingine ya season ikiingia mwezi wa 7. Na ndio inakuangwa na pesa sana. Sababu kama fix saa hii wale wako na off season wanauza na 180 per kilo ama 150.
A few kilometers from NYAMAI's home, we find Paul MWANZA, an IT specialist who left his job to venture into agriculture together with his wife. At first, they started fruit farming for family consumption. But with trainings on the importance of trees to the environment and other benefits, they have also ventured into fruit trees nursery, where they supply other farmers with seedlings.
I like quality fruits. So when I was in Nairobi, I could always ask myself, when I go back home, my mother could give me fruits and some good ones. Then I go back to Nairobi, I'm not getting the same. So I kept asking myself, why don't I produce something?
Watu wengi hawapendi ukulima, hata mimi sikuwa napenda ukulima. Tulikuwa tumezoea ile tunaenda kulima, hatupendi. Lakini sasa aliponielezea na nikaona tukianza polepole tumeanza kuwa successful. Nikaona kumbe hii ni kitu watu wanaweza fanya yao ya kila siku. Si lazima kuandikwa.
We are working with them, training them on different aspects, from tree propagation, that is from the nursery, to tree planting and tree growing. And so far we've trained over 200 farmers on different aspects. And these farmers are leveraging on community meetings, cooperative meetings, so that they are able to relay the information that we have trained. And so far we've seen a lot of impact.
This nursery has fruit trees, forest trees, vegetables and landscaping ornamentals. According to the experts, fruit trees are the best in carbon absorption because farmers keep the trees for long in their farms. The Makueni farmers are currently getting training on carbon trading from the ICRAF team in collaboration with Jomo Kenyatta University of Science and Technology, JKUAT.
Fruit trees stay longer on the farm, and in so doing, these fruit trees store large amount of carbon. And the reason farmers retain these fruit trees longer on the farm is because of their multiple benefits. They are not ready to cut the fruit tree because they are expecting either the fruits. During the management of the orchard, they are able to get core benefit in terms of firewood.
We are trying to bridge the gap on determine how much carbon is sequestered by these trees, some of which have been in this landscape for 30-40 years. And how can we inform the science to determine how much carbon is sequestered in these trees so that when carbon financing framework is finalized, then they can estimate, they can have a bargaining power in terms of carbon financing, in terms of compensation.
How can farmers measure carbon in a tree?
We measure the diameter.
Dr. Kuya explains.
We're looking at a situation where we can empower the farmer to be able to measure just simply the diameter of the tree and feed into a formula, and the formula can then tell the farmer this is the amount of biomass. And then the farmer is able to multiply this quantity with 50% and get now the amount of carbon. Of course, that will be for one single tree. The amount of carbon in the landscape depends on the size of the tree, so that the bigger the tree, the more carbon it stores, but also the longevity.
We do not want farmers to have an investment. We want farming as a business, a farming that makes sense. And that is when we come to the environment, we talk about tree diversity. Diversity brings resilience in a system. We look at both crops, livestock, and trees.
According to Environment, Climate Change and Forestry Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya, the government is at an advanced stage of developing a legal framework in carbon markets, a move that will help incentivize farmers to plant more trees and protect them as they earn something out of it.
Kenya is rated as one of the top countries in the carbon market trading in Africa. But there is very little transparency in terms of how this is happening on the ground. We want to have clear benefit sharing modalities for communities. We want to improve the carbon market space to be high integrity, high quality, so that it can earn revenue for Kenya, but also communities to benefit from their role as custodians to our forests and ecosystems.
We need to do this mathematics of how much a mango tree will hold when it is 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, so that we don't give farmers a lot of problem when you tell them you are earning this and your neighbor is earning this. So the minute we are registering them, even them, they can do their own quick math and know how much they can earn from their trees. And not only mangoes, we have the natural trees.
The tree cover you can see, we've contributed a lot. We tell them the benefits of having other trees in their farm, apart from the fruits. And people are embracing this very, very well. Like the other day, we introduced another system. In any funeral, plant a tree. Make sure you have trees such that people will just sit comfortably in the shade of the trees, apart from instead of the tents and whatever.
Farmers like NYAMAI and MWANZA are already reaping from the benefits of fruit trees, but they are looking forward to carbon market trading to earn even better. Despite the scorching sun here in Makueni County and the effects of climate change, some farmers here have learned the way of working around it. They are now practicing smart climate agriculture, where they're earning something for themselves and their families. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV in Makueni County.